Hi guys, NBC. Look who it is. Look who it is. Say hi everybody. Hi. Hi everybody. Say hi. Hi guys. How are you guys doing? I know, a long time of, I know, last time I did a video I was in the hospital. And I had just had little mister. Oh, messed up my hair. Oh, my hair's already all messed up. But I thought I'd do him because he's wide awake. He's looking around. All that other good stuff. So I'm gonna redo my labor and delivery story because the one I did do was at the hospital and I had to be very quiet because I don't know. It was weird. So I'm redoing it. I went in at, oh goodness. Oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you good? Oh, we got hiccups. We got hiccups. Oh, sorry. Anyways, he got hiccups. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, I went in, Wednesday night? No, Tuesday night, last week. I went in Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. to be induced, and, they started out with the pills that they stick in your hoo-ha. And it took up to 3 doses for those pills to work. And it got me to a 2. And then my midwife said, okay, well you're a 2, almost a 3, so let's break your water and put you on Pitocin. So they broke my water and they put me on Pitocin. And the contractions started coming. For the first 3 hours I was doing good, I was talking, I was fine. The contractions would hit, they would be, you know, a couple of them were pretty gnarly. So a couple of them I, you know, would stop talking and I rode through them. And then, about the 6th hour is when things started to go downhill a little bit. They were getting way more intense. And, they checked me and I was a 3, almost a 4. So like, okay, well we're gonna ride a cell a little longer. And they started to watch his heart, and I was sitting on the ball, rocking back and forth, you know, trying my best. I ended up getting medication through my IV. Medication through my IV. Shush! It's just a car driving by, Pink Woo. Just a car. Nobody. Tink. Double dog. Piggy. Stop. Tink. Stop it. Stop. Anyways, rude. Sorry for the interruption. So they started watching his heart rate, and every time I had a contraction, his heart rate would go down. Well, they thought it was because I was sitting down, and they thought it was because they thought, you know, the lying down or resting positions, basically sitting down or lying down, were making his heart rate drop. So basically, after the 6th hour is when all that started happening. So for the next, no, yeah, the 6th hour. So for the next 3 hours after that, mind you, still in hard labor, I ended up standing for 3.5 more hours. Maybe 3 to 4.5 more hours. Of hard, like, I wanted an epidural, I was done, couldn't take it, my hips felt like they were gonna explode, contractions, done. That's how bad they were. And I had to stand through it. I did everything I could. Poor baby, got hiccups. Don't go away. Don't go away, I swear. They hurt so bad. Like, I was in tears. They hurt so bad, and, you know, like I said, the only medication I got was through my IV, and I can't remember what medication it was, but it would help me relax enough to where I could ride through them. And as soon as it started to wear off, is when I started crying and, oh, my voice hurts, it hurts, I can't do this no more. Whine. So yeah. And so yeah, and then all of a sudden, while I was doing the standing positions, his heart rate started to drop again. So they were trying to figure out why that was happening. Well, they're like, well, his heart rate's dropping every time you have a contraction, so it's time for you to have a C-section. So I signed the papers, gave the okay, said, alright, let's go cut me open and get this baby out. So I spent an hour on the operating table. They got him out, and I was so tired that as soon as they put the spinal block in, I pretty much fell asleep on the table, and slept. And then my husband came in, Mr. Bunny, and held my hand through the whole thing, and I woke up long enough to look at my husband, and I told my husband flat out that I loved him, and all I want to do is I just want to hear the baby cry. As soon as I hear him cry, I know that everything's going to be okay. That's all I wanted. And the anesthesiologist looked at me and said, okay, here comes your baby. And as soon as I heard him cry, of course, Niagara Falls, tears started falling, and I started crying. And then they showed him to me, and it was, like I said, right, I fell in love with another man. I fell in love all over again. And I got to give him a kiss, I got to touch him and give him a kiss, and then they put him in my husband's arms, and they whisked him away to the nursery, and they patched me up. And while they were patching me up, I fell asleep again on the table. I was exhausted. My poor little body was done. And then they took me into the recovery room, where they have a camera set up in the nursery, so you can still see your baby, you just can't be with your baby because you're in recovery. And my husband sat in the nursery with my husband, and my husband, yeah, he sat with himself. My husband sat in the nursery with our son, little Mr. Aiden here, for the whole entire time while I was in recovery, and just sat in front of the camera, and he didn't pay any attention to anybody that was looking on the outside. All of our family members were looking in, trying to get Leo's attention, but he basically ignored them and focused on the camera that he knew that I was watching, and it was like three of us were there together. He told everyone that no one gets to hold him until I get to hold him. And so after recovery, and they brought me to my room, I got to hold my baby. And like I said, it was love at first sight. It's hard to describe the feeling if you've never had a baby. You go 9 months feeling this little thing, this little being inside you, whether it's a boy or a girl. And then finally when they're here, especially going through what I went through, thinking that I would never have kids, ever. And then when they're here, you're just like, wow, I'm glad I waited, I'm glad I rode those 9 months out. This is, like I said earlier, this is the precious gift I've gotten from the universe. And I truly am in love with my son. He's the greatest thing on the planet right now. The greatest thing. I love this little boy to death. So then I spent, the rest of the time, they had catheter and But then getting up to walk was a fun challenge. Especially I didn't get to get to walk until the very next day. I had to have 2 nurses help me walk to get into the shower. it was weird. My spinal blocks are weird. They only last a couple of hours, but it's still weird. So yeah. So that's my story of being in labor. It wasn't fun, but it was well worth it. I don't think I would have changed anything differently. Yeah, I don't think I would have done anything differently. So I would have stayed for those 6 hours, enduring the pain of those contractions. Oh, and the reason why I had to have a C-section is because, well, me being a plus-size girl, you think, hey, her birth canal is, the right size. Nope. Pelvis, way too small. Who knew? So, that's why. Yeah. Oh, and I had to have an internal monitor, which that wasn't fun getting out either. So, okay, guys, that's all I got. And see you guys next time. Bye. Say bye-bye, Aiden. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, Richard. Bye-bye, Richard. Want to see the camera? The floppy baby. Oh. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.